All right, I wanted to take some time to show you that I finally built a website for the podcast, which it only took me 5.5 years to do, which is pretty dumb. But it's pretty simple so far. You can go and watch the video episodes or listen to the audio episodes. I've got links to my different videos up here, my remote performances, my short films, and then some music, and then all the socials here. But the thing I'm most excited about is the store. So let's check out the store because I got some pretty cool stuff on there. This is all made to order. I ordered some samples yesterday, so I'm going to do a quality check, but I've heard really good things from this company, Printful, that pairs up with Squarespace. I'm not doing an ad for any of these companies. It just happens to be what I'm using. But yeah, let's check it out. We got a couple different hoodie options. We got just the logo here and a couple different colors. And then the drawing that John Herndon did here. We got a pink, and I think there's a light blue in this one as well. Yeah, so those are pretty cool. And then I think we got, let's see, how many colors do we got here? We got a nice standard gray, a blue, and a red. Let's go back to the store. There's much more. There's a lot of cool stuff here. Let's check out the hats. You know, winter's coming up, so, you know, you're going to need yourself some stocking caps. Got a cool pink with like blue Pod Mod font. Got a dual color, gray and red and black, and then the gray and the blue and black. Got some fun tie-dye options. Got some cool 5-panel caps. Some standard non-tie-dye beanies there. What else do we got? Ooh, cups and mugs. Look at this. I'm really excited about this. Got a nice can-shaped glass. I'm trying to change the photo of this, the mug, because it's just got that profile photo. It's really bugging me. But, yeah, different colors on the insides. We got pink and yellow and blue. Cool Pod Mod logo on it. So that's fun. What else? Accessories. What do we got? Yeah, a fanny pack. I'd made a fanny pack before. Actually, I'm wearing it because I did a test on these, and when I got it, I was like, I can't promote and sell this. It's just not super good quality. So it's just like my, little fanny pack. But this one seems to be like it's going to be way better quality. So I did order some samples, and in my sample order, I did get the fanny pack just so I can check it out and see if it is, if it cuts the mustard. Got a cool Pod Mod shirt here with the logo, all sorts of color options here. It's a pretty good looking shirt. And then there's another shirt. This one's pretty sweet too. Lots of color options here. So yeah, if that's one way you can support the show is head over to my new website, podularmodcast.com. Check out the store. Get some stuff. The people who make, the company who makes it and sends it, they take a cut, and then I get a small proceed. So it's not like I'm going to make a bunch of money off of this, but I just, I want to have like a regular and steady supply of merch because I like merch, and a lot of people who like podcasts like merch. So now we have some Pod Mod merch, and yeah, if there's any stuff or designs that you would like to see on some merch from Pod Mod, then let me know, and I'll see if I can get something made up. As you know, Podular Modcast is always brought to you by the lovely people at Patchworks. So I thought maybe instead of just playing the video that I made as a promo, let's take a look at what kind of cool used and vintage stuff they have on their website. A lot of good used 2HP stuff. I'm feeling like I need to get some 2HP like envelopes and LFOs just so I can have some really small but effective modulation sources. Got a cool case here. Oh my gosh, look at this. A used Roland Octopad. I want that. Used Korg MS-20 Mini. That's pretty sweet. All sorts of controllers. A Hydra synth, those are super fun. All sorts of, man, they got a lot of cool stuff. Oh yeah, I actually went in there the other day and looked at this. Somebody had built this case, but it's super cool. It's like a really, really nice heavy duty case that they like DIY'd and put a little power supply in there. So actually pretty decent deal there. Some interfaces. Oh shit, a Roland Axe 1. Yeah, lots of really great stuff. So that's just the used and deals section. Head over to patchworks.com, patchwerks.com, to learn more about all of their great stuff. I also want to let you know that Sunday, September 10th, 6 p.m., that's this coming weekend if you're watching this episode the week of its release, I'm going to be playing modular on the spot in Portland. I'm super excited about this. Joining me will be Cave Cricket, Outside Everywhere, Dan Green from 4MS, and Lousy Falcon, aka David Lutz, my good buddy. So if you're going to be in the Portland area this weekend, come hang out. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Podular Modcast. My name is Tim Held, and this week we are going to be doing what I like to call a solo-sode. We're going to take a look at some modules that I got the kits for and built recently. I'm going to give you a little studio update, a little tour of what I've done in my studio. I'm very excited about it. I'm also going to be sharing details about the next Patreon giveaway. If you are unfamiliar with my Patreon giveaways, what I like to do is every once in a while just randomly post on Patreon a list of things that I'm going to be giving away, and it's first come, first serve. So if you're part of the Patreon, be on the lookout for that. If you're not part of the Patreon, head over to patreon.com/PodularModcast. It's a great way to support the show, and I haven't been doing a very good job of promoting it lately, and the numbers have just stayed stagnant. And as you know, I'm not very good at talking about the Patreon very gracefully, but I'm going to give it a shot today. Also, if you've been listening for the past few months, then you know that I've recently started working with Madrono Labs on doing demo videos for their software called Kaivo, and I'm going to give you a quick tour of that. This is not a paid promotion. This is just me really enjoying this software and wanting to give you a look at it because I think a lot of you will also enjoy it a whole lot. I'm also going to show you a bunch of cool gear that I've got over the last few months that I've been meaning to share with you for a while, but you know, life happens. I got COVID, so I'm feeling better now. I'm also going to play some of your music and put some of my footage under it. Also, reminder to everybody, I am still open to taking on video work. If you have a track you would like me to shoot and then edit together a music video for, I'd be happy to do that. You can reach out to me via Instagram or Gmail or the Discord. My Gmail address is podmodcast@gmail.com, not Podular Modcast. I should have got Podular Modcast, but I was dumb. I'm also going to do a reaction video to that hit song, Richmond, North of Richmond. Totally joking, definitely not gonna do that. All right, let's get into this. All right, so this is the new studio setup. Basically, what I have done is, other than the mobile modular rig, which we'll go over here in a second, I have tried to set everything up on the perimeter of the room and have everything plugged in. Got a patch bay, so anything in this room is ready to track at a moment's notice. I have also dedicated cables to each instrument, and I have dedicated field recording equipment. I've even gone so crazy as to have dedicated USB cables for all my batteries. I just never want to have to look for anything ever again. So this here is my mobile modular rig. I've got it on this work cart. I put this row up here, got a power supply under it, got a little switch here. I've got a power strip on the bottom powering all of this stuff. These are all held on by Velcro. Got my guitar pedals over here, and then I've got a little patch bay so I can get everything plugged in and then run it into my mixer. So hopefully I will be bringing this to Portland as my setup. As you can see, I have nothing patched yet. I need to get to work on that. I'm really excited about this because before this new studio arrangement, every time I wanted to switch between tracking or just patching or recording videos, recording podcast episodes, I had to like rearrange and do a big studio cleanup like every Sunday night. It would take me hours, and it's just not at all efficient. And I've got my drum set that I have set up to be just about as small as I could possibly get it. The una corda is finally not all back in a corner, and so now I can just go and sit and play it whenever I want. I've got the Summit and my CP reface over here. MIDI cables running from both of those to the interface. Got a MIDI cable from the drum set running around to the interface. This is not mine. This is old co-host Ian's. He's let me borrow it, but figured I should probably set that up and actually try to use it. Hung up the guitars all over the place, so it looks pretty cool. I have yet to get together my Needham case here. As you can see, it's got some love that needs to be given to it. I've got my guitar amp down here with a mic. That mic is wired up and ready to go. Also, that mic can swing over to record the una corda. Then I've got this big monitor here for when I'm doing my OBS videos, and got my webcam set up there. So yeah, I am just so excited. Then I have got these toolboxes here that are, this is the dedicated field recording, and I just got these, which I'm very, very excited about. These cablies. Got 2 1/4-inch cables in here, just roll right up. I've got one with 2 XLR cables, and I got a spool for my hydrophone finally, so that's not going to be as much of a pain in the butt to use. This is going to be the camera toolbox, and they stack right on top of each other. Yeah, that's the new studio. Now let's check out this week's featured artist, Rick Bader. Link in the show description. I threw some cool slow motion footage that I took of fire the other night. So yeah, enjoy.
I keep seeing which window to follow. I keep seeing which window to follow. 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 Which window to follow.
All right, let's talk about the next Patreon giveaway. As I mentioned earlier, I have not been very good at promoting the Patreon and have never felt super confident about talking about it. So today I thought I would bring on a special guest to give me a little help. So welcome to the show, Tim Held.
Hey, how's it going?
You got it?
Yeah. Is this good?
No, you're fine there.
It's alright? No? So you got some, do you got some lights, or are we gonna put these lights on, or?
No, I don't. I mean, we're just using the natural light.
For me, glasses work.
All right. Well, thank you again, Tim, for joining us today. Let's talk about some of the stuff that we're going to give away.
Well, don't these people give you money?
Yeah, I guess it's not technically free, and it's not a giveaway because they are supporting me monthly. But I mean, it's like $2. So what?
So you're not like giving it away, technically charging them for it.
Just let me
Well, how much do they give you?
I got this. All right,
What?
I got this. So the first thing I want to give away is a pack of Make Noise.
It's make noise.
Make Noise patch cables. I bought a No Control a while ago, and these came with it. Next up, I've got 4 copies of good old co-host Ian's new album under the moniker Skygas.
Oh, yeah.
4 cassettes.
That's a great-
So we're going to be giving
that's a
all
great-
of those away as well. This album's really, really
Great
cool.
job.
We talked
Yeah.
about it a few months ago when he was last on. I've also got an assortment of all sorts of different patch cables and a bunch of...
Wait, I thought you gave those. You gave those to me.
No. I mean, you can have the ones that I told you could have earlier. Those aren't...
Okay, but yeah, you gave those. You gave me patch cables too.
Yeah, I'm
Earlier
not giving
when I
your
got
stuff
here.
away. Don't worry.
So those are mine.
So I've also got some blank panels that I'm going to give away, and I understand that Tim, you brought some stuff as well.
Yeah, actually I did. I'm really excited to help Tim here share some cool stuff with you.
Oh, well, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
So first up, I got this thing that I like to do. I think it's pretty funny. But yeah, it's just a solo photo booth session with me in it.
Sit down. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, well, so the idea is, like initially I was very excited about the photo booth because it's a really fun thing, but then when it fully, like, hits me that I'm in there by myself, it makes me feel really, really lonely.
Oh, okay. I see what you're going for there. Now I get it. Jokes are way funnier when you have to explain them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with
Okay.
that. I also brought some of my senior pictures.
More pictures of you.
Yeah. My mom ordered like 700 of them, so I've got like, 657 left, And actually, yes, this is the same photo shoot that, where the photos that were used in the Bleep Bloop 2000 video with the character Tad Jeffs.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So,
Tad
so
Jeffs.
a little
That's pretty
pod
funny.
mod history and memorabilia.
Yeah, cool.
Also, I thought it'd be cool to give somebody like an axe. Yeah.
no, we're not gonna do that.
No, I think it's fine. It's old, it's rusty. It's
No,
not super
no,
sharp.
that's just irresponsible. I know it's technically not a weapon, but
It's not a weapon. It's for chopping
Also, the
wood.
shipping would be pretty. No, that's just. We're gonna move on from that, okay? Anything
heavy.
else?
Fiskars. Can I take a moment to just speak to the audience for a second?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks. Hey guys, obviously you like the show, you're watching it, but I just have to let you know, Tim doesn't really talk about this too much, but I know firsthand because I've seen it. He just works so hard. He just puts so much of himself and his blood, sweat, and tears into it, and for the cost of a cup of coffee a month, you get all this free content, unless you're a Patreon subscriber where you pay for giveaways. But it's a free show. It takes a lot of work, and Tim's he just works so hard. He's just such a hard worker. So if you guys could just find it in your mind. It's the cost of a cup of coffee a month for hours of entertainment and information about our lovely scene. So he just works so hard.
Okay, that's gonna wrap it up for our Patreon section. Don't forget to be on the lookout for the post that's going to be coming randomly within the next week or so. If you're not part of the Patreon, head over to that link in the show description and sign up, and you can get yourself into the running of this first come, first serve giveaway. Thanks again, Tim, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, let's take a look at Kaivo from Madrona Labs. Kaivo is a granular physical modeling synthesizer with a bunch of modules. It's like a virtual patcher. You'll see here in a second. Before we get into that, though, I want to play you the sample that I'm going to load into Kaivo. I've talked about it before. I don't know if I played it on the show. I think I did. But anyways, I got a really nice field recording of a raccoon fight at my parents' house. So I'm going to put that into the granulator in Kaivo. But let's just listen to that sample really quick. So yeah, that's just the part of the sample that I bounced out to put into Kaivo. So let's jump in. Also, I want to note that Kaivo works as a plugin within your DAW, and I'm using it here in Bitwig. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on. This top row are like your control modules. The middle black section, that is your patch bay. You'll see that in action here in a second. And then bottom, you have a granulator module. You have a gate or VCA, and then you have a resonator and a body. Let's just check out a default really quick. I randomly threw some notes into a piano roll editor, and that way we can kind of just wrap our heads around this before we do the raccoon thing, because that's going to be weird. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Let's get into some of the textures. Ooh, that one's really cool. All right, anyways, let's not get lost in the sauce. So I'm just gonna take these patch cables out so we can start nice and fresh. Let's load up that raccoon fight sample. I'm just gonna go down here to the granulator. You can see where it says sign. I'm going to pop up that menu, go to Tim Sounds, go to Raccoon Fight 1, and now we can see that our waveform is here, so it actually looks just like the waveform here. To get started, I'm going to put the gate from the key module into the envelope here. Quick adjustments, a nice standard envelope shape going into our gate or VCA. So let's push play on. So now we just got the MIDI notes that I have in the piano roll editor, just triggering that envelope. And as you can see, the rate down here is really high. So let's turn that down. So there you go. You can hear like the bird squeaking in the background and that like loudest growl from the raccoon. So now here's where it gets really fun. We've got all of these control modules. We have a sequencer. So one of the really fun things about this sequencer is it's a great control voltage source as well. And it's got all these waveform buttons here. So if you hit a square wave, now we have a square wave out. Or if you hit a sine, now you have a sine wave out, saw, and then you can just get a random. I do want to mention if you hit quantize, then that will quantize your sequence to whatever you have chosen here in your key module. So your key module just interacts with the MIDI information. And then you'll also notice there's a quantize button on this LFO2D. So we have an X and Y output. We'll talk about that in a second, but you can also quantize your LFO output to match whatever you choose for your scale in your key here. So I'm going to turn this rate up really fast so you can see, look, that says circle. We have a circle. So we also have an infinity shape for the LFO or a square, and then a triangle, Gaussian, nights, and then my personal favorite is rain. All right, so let's hear that in action. Let's turn the rate down a little more. So as you can see down here on our waveform, there are these sliders. This is the X and Y position of the sample. So I'm going to take the X and Y outputs from the LFO2D and plug them in here. And you'll notice that what I'm plugging them into look like little dials. And that's exactly what they are. They're like little attenuverters. So I'll just do a little negative and then do a little positive there. And now you can see these positions next to the slider. That's indicating where this LFO is moving our, I guess what you could call a playhead on this, this waveform. Let's let's take our gate output and let's trigger this noise module. You can add some width. You can add multiple peaks. Your level here. So let's take this noise output and let's put this into our rate. So we're getting kind of weird now. All right, so this is pretty cool sounding. Let's check out the resonator and body sections. So first up, the resonator, you hit this drop-down menu. You can go nylon string, or excuse me, metal string to nylon string, gut string, small chime, medium chime, large chime, small spring, and large spring. Ooh, large spring sounds really cool. Let's stick with that. But I'm going to turn that down really quick so I can show you the sounds from the body section. So first up, we have a large wooden box, small wooden box, metal plate, and a frame drum. So let's go to metal plate, and then let's run our resonator in there as well. Okay, so not much really cool happening yet because we're not modulating the resonator or the body. So let's do that. Let's see. Let's quantize the sequencer, and let's take one of the sequencer outs and put it into the pitch in for the resonator. And then you'll notice that the sequencer has 2 red sections and 2 blue sections. These are gate and CV outs, so I'm actually going to disarm some of these steps. Now you can see the blue is blinking in sync, but what's really cool about having the 2 of each is you can add these delays to them. Now you can see that those gate sequences are starting at different starting positions within the 16-step sequence. So I'm going to trigger this other envelope with one of them. And now let's run this into the sustain on the resonator. So it was sounding kind of annoying for a while, but that was more user error. But you mess around in here long enough with all of this control, with all the different attenuverters for the inputs, and then also the level outputs for all your control signals, you can get into some pretty cool territory. Yeah, so that's Kaivo. And if you would like to learn more about how it works, I'll put a link in the show description to the Madrona Labs website, but also I'll put a link down there to the videos that I have made on Kaivo. I haven't got through the whole software yet, but I have done, I think, 3 or 4 videos on it. So yeah, thanks for checking that out. It's been a lot of fun to use. I wanted to just take you through the build guide here for the 4MS sampler. They did such a good job of laying out the instructions and really nice pictures and really good troubleshooting tips and everything. So yeah, if you're out there and you're curious about trying out some DIY kits, I think the 4MS sampler or delay and some of the AI stuff we're going to look at here shortly are really great places to start. You're not doing any SMD or surface mount stuff, none of that tiny stuff. It's all through hole components, as you can see. Not only is there the nice build guide online, but it comes with some documentation so you can actually lay out all your components on top of this sheet that has them all listed. It's a nice color picture. So it's actually really nice. You can actually go through your components and lay them on top of their corresponding picture to make sure that you have all the right resistor values and whatnot. And then, you just start small and start soldering this stuff in. I think I built both of mine it was the same day that I put them together and built them. I did screw up on the sampler, and it's right here on these buttons. So what I did is exactly what they told you not to do, and that is be in a hurry. You got to go through and check your work before you solder. So one of my pins for one of the buttons wasn't in. I thought I went through the hole, but it actually had kind of folded out, kind of like here where my cursor is. It wasn't this exact button, but I'm going to show you how I fixed it here in a moment. But other than that, everything else I did correctly. So yeah, like I said, just super easy, nice, clear instructions, and now I've got a really cool sampler to use. So yeah, I'm going to show you what I did to fix my screw up. Kind of proud of myself, honestly. It doesn't look pretty, but it works. So there are ways of, getting components out if you have soldered them in by accident backwards or something and you need to flip them around. But I didn't have really any of the equipment to do that, and it's just really hard with these little buttons. So here you can see I've got some like tape and whatnot. Basically what had happened is because I didn't get the pin through the hole that it was supposed to go into, I had soldered over it, and when I tried to remove the solder, it actually started lifting the contact, the little copper piece in there, and then it started lifting off of the PCB. So I actually just traced that out to see where that leg of the button was supposed to go, and found that it was actually for this here resistor right here. I think it's kind of blurry, but basically what I did is I wrapped a little piece of wire around the leg that didn't make it through the hole it was supposed to go. I soldered that on, and then I ran that wire over and just soldered it right to the leg of the resistor, and works like a charm. So yeah, if you're nervous about screwing something up, just know that you can screw things up and fix them. One of the other kits I've built recently is the AI4 OTA voltage controlled filter. This filter is amazing. It can be a low pass or a high pass. It's super fun. I made the black version. It's just a really solid filter. So yeah, as I said a moment ago, I think the AI stuff is a really good place to start if you have little to no DIY experience. Abe's build guides are second to none. He's got a nice table of contents and everything laid out. Even has his BOM, which stands for Bill of Materials. And he's got nice pictures and tells you how to start with all these really great tips along the way. And yeah, I think I built this one in less than an hour. It's just so streamlined and sounds really, really good. And then I also built the AI22 harmonic mixer. And I haven't tried this out yet. So of course I did test it out to see if it worked, but I haven't really given it a try yet. So I thought we could do that today. But again, AI stuff, amazing. I did screw one up. So again, you have to take your time, make sure you're doing things right. So I built the DIY low pass gate, and I'm going to show you exactly where I went wrong. So as you can see, there are two PCBs. They connect with some headers. That's what all these tiny little dots are. The headers are on the other end. They go together, and then you have a functioning module. I did not put my IC into the socket, and I put it together and plugged it in. Luckily, I just popped the resistor. That's another thing I love about AI. There's a resistor for like the power consumption. So if you plug something in backwards or something weird happens, like what I did to it, it'll pop that. And then all you have to do is replace that resistor, and it's not going to screw up the rest of the circuit. So that's really cool. So I have to get a new resistor before I can start using the low pass gate. All right, so let's take a look at the harmonic mixer. Like I said, I haven't really messed with it too much. Abe was showing me some stuff when I was down there staying with him for the event in Portland a while ago, and I remember thinking it was really cool. So yeah, let's get into that. All right, so really quickly, just to show you what the harmonic mixer is doing here, I have run the sine wave output from the 3 oscillators on the Schlappy 3 body into the Aikido, and then also into the harmonic mixer, which is then going into channel 1 of the Aikido. So let's just hear really quick the 3 oscillators together. Let's put a sequence in there. Cool. Now we will turn on the harmonic mixer. Let's turn these other ones off. Okay, so nothing crazy yet, but let's turn the volume up on all of these guys. So you get some really cool distorty harmonic stuff happening here when you mess with the volumes of each one. And again, in comparison to the 3. Let's add some modulation just for fun. So that's just what the CV is doing, and then again, crank all these. So yeah, simple, but super, super fun to get some nice crunchy stuff going. All right, let's take a listen to the OTA VCF from AI Synthesis. I got the guitar going into the injector, and then I'm using the positive envelope follower here to control the cutoff. And then I'm running that into the Basil from Bastel. Now I've got the negative envelope going into the source of uncertainty, so let's put that into the CV2. Oh yeah, now let's check out this low or high pass mode. So I'm actually going to put the negative envelope into the CV1 here. Now let's bring that source of uncertainty back into it. Okay, now we're gonna check out some of these new pieces of gear I mentioned in the intro. So these things are really cool. I'm actually gonna be using them for my Portland set this weekend. But they're pretty genius. So this one here is a little touch sensitive pressure plate for Eurorack, but let's just look on their website here on the Etsy store for Tidbits Audio. So basically you can turn on or off a signal with your touch. So you can just plug a control voltage source in to the jack on the side, and then plug the actual jack into whatever you want to control or send, and you can just have all this really, really cool touch sensitive interaction with your patch. It's super, super cool. Yeah, and they're right angled too, so they're really easy to use. Of course, link to this in the show description. Then I also got the light theremin version. So this one, you know, shine a headlamp at it or whatever, and you can control voltages with light. So yeah, the reason I'm just showing you here on Etsy, I haven't really had a chance to build a patch since I got these to really explore. But I'm planning on doing so probably later today after recording this to work on my set for this weekend's Modular on the Spot. They have all sorts of versions of this, though. They have like attenuators. Yeah, here is the audio and VC voltage control, so you can just have a little attenuator version of it. Then they have like a mini floating attenuator, so you can like put that between cables if you don't want it right on the module. There's a mini switch, so that's really cool. Oh, and I want to get this one. This one's really cool. This is a mute latching on or off toggle switch, so that's super useful there as well. This stuff is really, really valuable to the synthesist who wants to keep a compact setup, or at least have one setup that's kind of mobile and compact. You have so much control that you can place anywhere without taking up any of your HP space. So very exciting stuff. So yeah, I'll throw a link to the Tidbit Audio store in the show description. Oh yeah, I've mentioned this before. This thing's super fun. The psychedelic voltage processor. Look at this video. How pretty is that? So it takes 4 different inputs, but you can just give it one and it'll normal to all of the outputs, and basically it uses LEDs, which you're seeing blinking here, to process your incoming CV and turn it into some really wild random stuff. And what's cool is if you are using it in that normal way that I was talking about, it gets kind of more wild as you move from input or output 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. And then the knob is basically your attenuator for your output voltages. So yeah, that's a super, super fun and visually appealing way of getting some random and crazy fun voltages out of your normal sine wave LFOs, for instance, or something. All right, that's our show. Thank you so much for coming back to Podular Modcast. If you would like to support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/Podular Modcast, or head to podularmodcast.com and check out the new store with all the sweet swag. Don't forget to check out this week's featured artist, Rick Bader. Link in the show description. We got Mott's this weekend in Portland. Link in the show description for that. Thank you to all the companies who provided the gear that we looked at today. Links, of course, to all of their stuff in, you guessed it, the show description. If you want to be a featured artist, reach out to me in the DMs. Send me a WAV file. I think that's about all I got. Thanks for coming back to Podular Modcast. This week's secret word is deactivate. Until next week.